know. This one's probably gonna function a bit better than fucking Kingmaker did too, despite being... Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and play it on easy, because I don't really have the fucking... Look at that, functioning loading bar, moving...
5 wagons grope blindly for the path on a starless night, their master glancing ever upward to the skies for assurance that he is on the right course. A dim lantern his only protection against the encroaching darkness. But the skies bring no comfort, shining no light, betraying no hint of what they know. The caravan carries travelers bound for the frontier hamlet of Gilded Vale, you among them, where a local lord has offered land and wealth to settlers from abroad looking for a fresh start. You have taken suddenly ill, sweating and shivering, and one of the other travelers signals for the caravan master to stop on your behalf. He pulls up just in time to avoid plowing into the trunk of a fallen tree that bars the way ahead. You will go no further tonight.
Character creator, character creator, character creator. Okay, so you got your basic humans, dwarves, and elves, right? Start out with the shits, yeah. So you got your humans, dwarves, and elves, but you also get some weirder shit like the Amawa, which are basically merfolk. Mighty Amawa are the largest of the Kith races and are commonly found in or near oceans. They're not truly aquatic, they have an affinity for water, and many of their civilizations, such as Ralatai, are based on naval dominance. They are known for their unparalleled strength. You get your weird little guys. You don't get gnomes, but you get weird little dudes. Orlans are the smallest of the Kith races, though many cultures don't consider them to be civilized at all. Also notable for their large ears, two-tone skin, and hirsute bodies, Orlans are commonly found in Erglanfath and the Ixamiddle Plains and parts of the Direwood. You fucking assholes making me say all those names right off the bat. They are known for their mental intensity and sharp senses. And then there's these bad boys, which is just super good. But yeah. The godlike are children of the Kith, who have been blessed with physical appearances associated with the gods, though some do not consider it a blessing. These aspects may take many forms and often come with mystical powers. Aberrant head shapes are typical, and godlike are unable to wear protective headgear, as it is near impossible to find anything that fits. Because of their unusual nature and their inability to reproduce, godlike are often viewed with fear and wonder. Yeah, obviously it's the godlike, right? Although, mind you, you don't just get regular race stuff, you get, yeah, so do a godlike. Because they're cool as fuck. Oh, what's that? You also get sub-races. So you get... You can have red ones for the island types or coastal types, but... For the godlike, you get a fucking shit ton of them. You get the fire ones, which are the basic ones we got here. The bodies of fire godlike often resemble hot metal, burnt wood, or stone, with harmless flames that erupt from the cracks in their skin. Fire godlike are objects of both reverence and fear in the Deadfire Archipelago. Many locals believe they have the power to awaken volcanoes, or that killing one will cause a volcano to awaken. In the Direwood, fire godlike are often seen as a sign of blessing of Magran, goddess of war and fire. Battle Forged. When reduced below 50% endurance, fire godlike glow like metal and forge, gaining damage reduction and doing a small amount of fire damage to any creature who hits them in melee. But you also get the Death Godlike. Death Godlike are the most distrusted of their kind. Strange growths cover their eyes, or in some cases entire face, giving them a sinister appearance. The growths are transparent for the godlike, but opaque for an outsider, hiding their features. Death Godlike are commonly killed at birth, because in many cultures consider them to be harbingers of doom. When a Death Godlike attacks an enemy with 25% or less endurance, their damage is increased. That's Death's Usher. And then you got the Moon Godlike. Moon Godlike are the most tolerated of the godlike. While their skin tone and a large moon-like growth on their foreheads may be strange to some, their appearances are generally considered more palatable by the other kith. Sailors have many beliefs about Moon Godlike and their propensity to bring luck, though there is little agreement as to what kind of luck they tend to bring. Silver Tide. Every encounter, when reduced below 75, 50, and 25% endurance, Moon Godlike generate waves of healing moonlight that restore endurance to them and their allies. And there is also, like, appearance customization too, so... And the Nature Godlike. Nature Godlike appear to be fusion of animal and plant features. Human and animal features often covered by plants, moss, or fungi. This led to the common stigma that they are diseased, and many are killed at birth because of it. Many druidic orders have a keen interest in Nature Godlike because of their general curiosity as to how souls occupy animals, plants, and stones. Wellspring of Life grants a bonus to might, constitution, and dexterity when endurance is below 50%. These are your choices. You get cool powers and stuff to go with it. And I think I know which one you're gonna suggest for us. Yeah, no shit, you like the moon. Oh, and because you're a godlike, you can have a body type of any of the kind. You can be a godlike of any other race, which is cool. So you can have the big, tough Amawa body type. Let's go human. Seems fine. Okay, class types. We have... You got your standards: barbarians, paladins, priest, rangers, rogue, wizard, monks, and druid. You know, the usual stuff you had in Kingmaker 2, but you got two extra classes that don't appear in Kingmaker, but do appear here: Chanter and Cipher. In every culture across Eora, there are chanters. Many historians consider chanters to be the most ancient workers of magic. Their hallowed phrases stirring the collective memory of wayward souls around them, compelling them to regenerate magical effects in a kind of reenactment. In some societies, chanters form organized groups of storytellers and researchers, but in most parts of the world they are just time-honored parts of local folk tradition. Starting abilities, phrases, chants. All chanters can continuously speak chants made up of magical phrases. Phrases produce passive effects and help build a character's power until they can use an invocation. Invocations, powerful magical effects that chanters can create after they have spoken a required number of phrases through their chants. Cipher, which is a recent discovery in the Eastern Reach. Ciphers are once called Brishalgwyn, fucking Jesus, mind hunters by the Glenfarthans. Ciphers have the ability to directly contact and manipulate another person's soul and psyche using an ally or enemy's essence as the focus of their magic. Though most ciphers are still found in the Eastern Reaches, practitioners of the technique have spread throughout the known world. They are gaining acceptance over time, but are generally distrusted, especially by the uneducated. Ciphers can directly target allies and enemies with powerful soul-focused effects. These powers cost focus, which ciphers build through use of their soul whip. Now, I happen to know that chanters get, like, summonable ghosts and summonable dragons and shit in later levels. The ciphers do get psychic powers, though. Well, they all have low health, high endurance, High accuracy, high deflection, yeah. Oh look, we got like fucking... Yeah, Chanter gets dragon summons in the second game. In the first game they get like ghosts and stuff they can summon. Well, sure, but that's just armor. Like, you can get rid of that. I don't want to be just like basic bitch fighter type, you know? Thinking either Cypher or Chanter. Okay. I get Chanter. Which means you get to pick some phrases. You've got bonus fortitude, drains a portion of endurance from all enemies in the area. Reduces concentration for spellcasting, reduces slashing and piercing damage of enemies, increases the movement rate of reflex of all enemies in all allies in the area. Okay. So we'll do increased speed and soul drain for our first set. For our invocation, which is the next one, like the power spell you get, causes a nearby downed enemy to explode, expelling 3 white grubs and crushing nearby enemies. Drains electrostatic energy from the environment to create 3 bolts of lightning, causing shock damage to any in their path. It's a thunderous explosion that stuns and shoves enemies in the area. Reduces slash and shock damage. Summons 3 skeletons to fight for the party, see what I mean? Reduces damage reduction for enemies. Calls beyond the shroud and summons a phantom to fight for the party. That's the shit right there. That's the one. Attributes. So they suggest intellect and constitution as our main stats. We have resolve as a secondary. So how high do these skills go? I think 18 is usually 19 is the cap here, okay. So 17 intellect, 16 constitution, well, 15 constitution, 14 resolve. Pick a background. Once the crown jewel of the southern seas, old Vila is now crumbling remnants of an empire of warring merchant nations. Counting many humans and dwarves among their ranks, the old Vilan countries are still a force to be reckoned with, and are proud of their rich cultural heritage. +1 intellect. Yeah, alright, that'll do. Oh, you get a different look. Huh. Pretty down with that. You can see the glowy bits more. Culture. Oh, these are skill set increases. Dissident. Stealth and lore increase, yes please. Made a name for yourself as a troublemaker. Disrespect for authority and a lack of care regarding the rules are a recurring theme in your life. Fuck yeah. Now you get your appearance shit. So we can have like shiny hair horns, real big horns, a halo, or like a crescent moon horns thing. You like the halo? You can do the halo. So these are the two character portraits for Moon-Touched Godlike. Yeah, a couple for every type that there is, so you can be represented. Get fluffy hair, and you get kind of cool. Prefer any other one of them? Fluffy. Yeah, we don't get to pick hair. We just got the halo. Yes, those are the two options. Thank you.
I shall lead us. Let's go.
Keeping an eye out.
I'm here. Follow me. I'll teach you a lesson.
Quick and quiet.
Huh? Watch and learn.
You won't see me coming.
Yeah. Let us end this!
Silence surrounds me.
Never gonna actually address our character by name, so that's fine. Let's go. Oh, it just instantly loaded in. Wow. Caravan Master finishes addressing the group, his bushy red moustache and sagging jowls quivering as if for emphasis.
Everybody stays close to the wagons, got it? Stay out of the woods, and beasts take you if you are planning a stroll through those ruins up there.
He nods towards a looming black mass on the hillside.
Whole area's crawling with hut-dwelling types who'd be happy to stick an axe in you for trespassing. So mind that you don't track mud on their sacred blazing rocks. Tonight, everybody stays put, and in the morning we'll get the path cleared. Gilded Vale's less than a day out. Understood?
At last, the Caravan Master turns to you, frowning as he looks you over.
Touch of the rumbling rot, could be. There's a stinging beetle round here, carries it. You'll be fine once it passes your innards. Unless you don't drink water, course. Which case you'll be dead in a day. There's a berry grows in these parts, small and pink, called a springberry. About the size of a fingernail. Give you cramps if you eat it, but the frontiersmen make a tea from it. Calms the insides. Should get you through the night. You might check around, see if you can find some. Meanwhile, I'll see if we can scare you up some water. I know you want to hunt before it gets much darker, but see about refilling our water first. Got a sick one here.
No Chairman looks over his shoulder for his assistant, a lanky, intense man named Sparfell, who carries an old sun-bleached bow. He nods and slides the one bow over his shoulder. Where would I find these berries?
They grow on a bush that's common round here, kind of funny looking. You'll know it when you see it. Doubt you'd have to go far off the road to find one.
What are the ruins?
Nothing you won't see on half the hills of Air Glonfoth. Money to be made selling their knickknacks in Defiance Bay, if you don't mind getting stuck with Glonfoth and arrows now and again. They didn't build them, but I'll be the effigy if they don't watch them like a mother bear. Of course, all the ones around here have been ransacked 10 times over. Got nothing left worth half a pawn, so I hear.
Who did build the ruins?
Got different names for them. Settlers called them Ingwithans. Nobody that liked them enough to stop them becoming ruins, tell you that much.
Is it dangerous out here?
Not if you hurry about your business. And not if the weather holds up.
There is concern in his tone, but he does not elaborate. What kind of weather did they get out here?
This time of year? Rain, mostly. And wind. But there's a different kind of wind out here, time to time. Locals call it a Beowick. Born out of the ether. The spirit's path. Never seen it myself. Never cared to.
What are these huge rocks coming up out of the ground?
They don't got Adra where you come from? Well, it just grows up out of the ground like this. Goes deep like tree roots. Some of it all the way to the heart of the world, you believe the stories. It's more like a shell than a proper rock. Easier to work if you're a mason. Got all kinds of strange properties. Seems to have some kind of life of its own. Dies if it gets dug up. Loses its luster. Folks think it probably grew at one point or another, but not these days. The soul butchers in Defiance Bay use it for different things. I've heard tell it can hold a man's soul, but I don't care to see it. Got enough to worry about without seeing something like that.
That's fair enough. Time for berries!
Hold on. Take someone with you. I know you're not some helpless tenderfoot, not like most of this lot. But you drop dead, I don't want to be looking for the body. Got a schedule to keep.
He scans over the travelers, resting his eyes at length on a sturdy, armor-clad woman who has spent the journey's night sleeping on uneven ground without blanket or pillow.
Kalisha. Kalisha!
The woman looks up on her own time. She needs to find some spring berries. Watch that she doesn't drop dead.
No promises.
Ooh.
What kind of guide says something like that?
Kind you can afford.
Don't listen to her, you're in good hands. And I pay too well, if anything. Off with you. Hayden should have supplies. See that you're equipped before you head out. We're in harsh country. Get your berries and hurry back. And if you get so much as a tickle of wind, you drop everything and you run. Something in the air tonight. If it's a Beowick, we'll shelter in the ruins. Hut dwellers be damned.
You heard the man. Let's get going before you keel over.
Shh. Oh, that's the stealth button.
Anyone need supplies? I've got sundries for sale.
You see a man wearing simple but mostly neat clothes. He's transfixed, however, by a ragged tear in the seam of his tunic.
Brought a whole wagon full of goods to sell, but not enough shirts for the road. Say, is there anything you need? I've got some basic traveling supplies for sale if you'd like to take a look.
Okay, let's check it out. I know how to fucking... sword. And a shield. got a sword and a shield, damn it.
Something else you need?
Yes. Oh?
I'll have your water soon enough. Stream's not going anywhere.
Let's check by those outcroppings.
Were de Bildan.
Take the wolf hide. Pretty standard.
This is it.
Oh, it's big. You're some kind of troublemaker. At least you were in your old life. That's why they put me in jail. Yeah? How is it you happen to come here? I served my time, didn't want to be reminded of that place another minute. Well, we've all got things we'd like to leave behind. Gods know I do, I'll tell you that. Here's hoping they never track us down. Alicia breathes in her surroundings. Been a long time since I've been this way, but I always did like it. Lord Redrick's offer makes a girl think, I'll give him that. You here to settle like the rest of that lot? It's a hard offer to pass up. Don't find many offers like it in these parts, believe me. Got some big plan in store? I'm gonna lay low for a while, try not to draw too much attention. Pick the right place then. Gilda Vale's days away from any real civilization. Anyway, I'm wasting time here. Now will give me an earful, let's be on our way. Why are you here? Kalisha sighs unevenly, her eyes search the ground at her feet. My sister moved out here some time back. She sent me a letter, she seemed worried, but that's how she always is. This time though she asked me to come out and that's got me a little worried. I haven't seen her in ages, been doing guild work in Examital. But I'll do anything for her, she's a much better woman than me, so I'm here and we'll see. Dema I've worked with before, he doesn't usually drive around this way. He's doing it for me. Alright, let's go. What can you tell me about the Direwood first? Fucking not much for history, but from what I know, it used to be part of the Adir Empire. Broke off after a war some years back. The locals here are feisty, and that's how they like it. I've been out of touch, but I'm hearing weird kinds of things lately. People having trouble giving birth, I guess. A lot of them. Been going on for years now, but somehow it's getting worse. With an uneasy tremor in her voice, she adds, I'll have to ask my sister more about it. Alright, let's get back to camp. You know, I wouldn't hold my breath that Sparfell's getting you that water anytime soon. He does what he feels like, when he feels like it. We should check up on him first, slap him around a little. Stream's just down this way, come on. Let's turn it down 10%, see how that works.
Not looking forward to trying to lift that thing tomorrow.
There's a tree in the road. Pressing and holding L2 opens the menu. Okay, cool. So we got Janter stuff. If I did this one, character map count. Yeah, okay, so that's cool. All right.
What a surprise. Sparfle went hunting. At least he left the water skins. Come on.
Crouch at the riverbank and dip your water skin into the cool water while Kalisha waits nearby, keeping watch. As you rise, you notice her look up sharply towards the tree line. Out of the trees emerges Sparfell, one of the guides, barely discernible in the dim moonlight. He no longer carries his bow, and there is strangeness to his gait, his stride wobbly as he moves toward you with labored breath.
Sparfle? Are you alright?
Sparfle's toe catches on a rock and collapses forward in a heap, the feathered shaft of an arrow planted between his shoulders like an enemy flag. Oh, it's a Nemes's.
Ambush!
I got this one, you get the other one.
Where they be?
There, I'll put the master volume down to 80% for you. Maybe that'll help. Alright, let's try this bad boy. Yeah, ghost summonry. The master volume does it all, hun. The master volume is all the volume.
Come on, we have to get back to camp.
So we got a snummonable ghost. How's that? Better? Does that work for you? Okay, now the music's down to half volume. Does that work? I'm literally turning it down, so I don't know how that could be. Music's at half volume. We good? Okay. Alright.
Where they build
Kill the
on
man.
Saul.
Oh no, all the peoples are dead. All around you lie the massacred remains of the other travelers, peppered with arrows and knife hilts, splayed and bug-eyed in the filth. Kalisha puts the back of her left hand to her mouth as to ward away some poisonous vapor. A handful of dark figures stands above the fallen, treading on limbs and backs of heads, jerking their axes from bodies as if from half-split logs. One of them, towering and severe with a thick beard tasseled with knots, holds a wet blade to the neck of the man you recognize as Heoden, the last of your caravan left standing. Lay down your arms, trespasser. Do not forfeit this man's life for a fight you will lose. Well, I have my lore skill, so I can do this cool thing. The ruin has not been sullied by our hands, men of Erglonfoth. Your words carry no weight when I have seen the truth with my own eyes. Blood must be paid for this intrusion. So I say again, lay down your arms. Don't trust them, they mean to kill us all. You can kill him, but you might as well be killing yourself. The man smiles. No, I think I'll just be killing him. Listen, to deal a killing blow, you'll have to put your weight behind it, right? The man reluctantly acknowledges your point. By the time I arrive at your position, you will be off balance and open to a lethal strike. The others will defend me. No, actually, they are alternately out of position or lacking in the strength and quickness to break my parry. Your death will be assured. The man growls, frustrated. Then we'll save this one for later. He shoves Heoden at you. As he does so, the man rakes his blade against Heoden's torso. Heoden screams and stumbles forward, a wide gash in his clothing beginning to bloom crimson. The man sets his feet to engage you, his axe held high.
Were they Bildans?
Your enemy lies supine on the ground, unable to rise. His companions now silent among the other dead. His breath comes in wheezing, fitful gasps. He looks not to you, but at the sky above you. Forgive us. Barely audible beneath his choked sighs, a whisper of wind stirs the air. At this, the man's eyes roll back as he closes them. Good, good, the gods are just. A queer smile crosses his face. I am ready. The wind begins to swell, whipping around the camp, electric and volatile, upending pots and rattling tents like an angry spirit. You can feel it begin to seep beneath your skin, and where it pierces you, you feel as though it is rending you apart from within. Seated against a wagon wheel amidst the howling maelstrom, slashed across chest and bowel, Odema's body stirs, and with great effort he raises his sagging head, his eyes barely open. He looks directly at you.
Get inside! Run!
It's got naturally occurring earth crystals. Straining against a gale that threatens to pull you off your feet with every step, you set your hands in the worn folds of weathered rock and set about pulling yourself up the precipice. With the last burst of energy before your arms give out, you swing yourself up onto the ledge. Aiden trails behind, slowed by an injury and delayed by early hesitation. As he nears the face of the rocks, one of the fallen attackers who have been feigning death lunges for Aiden and topples him onto the rocky ground. Restrained, Aiden lashes out against his fatigued assailant, but struggles to break his hold. They are close to you. Despite the wind from your position, if you were to throw your weapon at the attack, you would have a good chance of hitting your mark. I don't have the dex to do anything else, so yes, throw it. Your aim is true, and it hits, and the hit jars Heoden loose. Lurching to his feet, Heoden clambers up the base of the rocks. As he nears the top, however, the wind flares, pulling him sideways and tearing one of his hands free. But diving out onto the hard rock, you manage to catch hold of it. Securing his other hand, you pull with waning strength, and it feels as though your arms will be jerked from their sockets. They hold just long enough for Heoden to set his feet and join you on the trembling ledge. There's a deep resonance in the swelling wind now. You feel it in the rocks beneath your feet and inside the cavity of your own chest, as though it will shake the marrow from your bones. Each new gust menaces the old stones before you, loosening connections, unsettling balances. As you dart beneath the old archway, the entire portal begins to fall beneath its own weight. much more manageable.
Was that?
A Bewick. Had to be.
Then we're lucky to be alive.
And we're the only ones.
We can't stay here. There could be another collapse. We're not getting out that way anyway. Let's get further inside. Can you walk?
Aiden's jaw tightens. He nods. Lower level of the ruins has been blocked off by falling rubble. Don't have level up yet, okay.
That should be far enough. But what now?
We look for another way out. Storm has to die sometime.
What happened out there? Windstorm, of a kind they only get in Air Glanfath. Not too many people live through them, so it's hard to know what's true. The Glanfathan word is Bewick. To them it's the gods' way of reaping the souls of the land, and they couldn't find their own way out. But they'll take a living soul as soon as a dead one. Still got yours? Who attacked us? Glanfathans. That'll be the hut dwellers O'Demo warned you about. Looks to be the Fangs of Galawain who are the twitchiest of the lot. They go ruin to ruin looking for fights with colonists. Poor O'Dema. I think he half expected this once we lost the main road. Glanfathan said we trespassed in the ruins? I don't believe it. O'Dema would never allow it, but as much as the Fangs are hotheads, Glanfathans don't attack without being provoked. Either they saw something and got the wrong idea, or there's looters down here with us. It's not something we need right now. What about everyone else in our caravan? Galatia's lips press together and her chin rumples. Her voice is faint. The wheels got 'em now. She looks up. Gods grant them better luck in their next lives. You don't seem too upset about all this. Alicia looks you in the eye, a volatile current running beneath her voice. Maybe you just don't know me well enough to know what upset looks like. Maybe I've seen worse too. Seen worse and kept on walking because there's nothing else to be done. Because there's other people you care about who still need you. Let's go. Aiden takes a step forward and his knee buckles. Before anyone can catch him, he stumbles to the ground, his cheek striking the time-worn cobbles. On unsteady legs, he claws his way up the wall back to his feet, but his stance is shaky like a sailor walking on land after a time at sea.
Could we maybe stay here and rest a few hours? I've lost some blood. It seems quiet off to the left. Might be a place to rest there.
I hate to say this, but we can't afford to stay put. Those Glanfathans were riled about something. Could be we got company in here. Looters will be armed and ready to kill, and there's probably a lot of them. We can't be caught sleeping in their beds.
Please, I just need to lie down for a while. Then we can move as fast as you want.
Maybe you didn't hear me. We are gonna die in here if we don't get moving and get this place figured out before the looters come back. We've either got to find the exit or a damn good place to hide.
Yeah, we gotta take the risk and let him rest. We need all three of us at full strength.
This will be the end of us. No offense, but there's people out there I'd much rather die for.
Thank you. Thank you.
Someone else has been here. We should move.
See if they left anything useful behind.
Well, we've got a mace. Some camping supplies. Yeah, I no longer have my sword because I threw it at the enemy. There we go. We got the mace for now. Hayden stretches as he wakes, gingerly probing the gash across the stomach. The flesh has begun to knit together.
By the gods, that's better. I think I'm ready to find a way out.
Sits up quickly and looks around the chamber. She really did leave us. She won't get far unless he crawls to his knees and begins to rummage through the equipment with mounting desperation.
Damn her. She took all our water.
If we hurry, maybe we can catch her.
Silence surrounds me.
Found something.
Finish them!
Poor Kalisha.
Finish them! Ha! Finish them!
Found something.
Probably a path through that isn't trapped, but, well...
Let us end this!
If I can just disarm all the traps, I don't see why I wouldn't. Especially when you get free XP for doing it.
Finish them! Let us end this! Let us end this!
Found something.
Let us end this!
Cool.
Sharp eyes and keen ears.
Oh, more corpses, that's good. And a slime!
Word.
Lesser black slime. Gives me some ooze, as you would expect from a slime.
Silence surrounds me.
Goop wall. What's that muck on the wall? Indeed. Viscous and oily, this muck clings to anything that touches it. viscous slick of something dark and tar-like runs down this wall. The shapes and bulges in the ooze suggest that something lies beneath it, but you can't tell what. Use your water skin to clear off the ooze. You rinse the ooze away, revealing an intricate relief of a man's face. The sunburst surrounding it is chipped away in places, but the details of his head, from the tight curls of his hair to the ridges of his pointed ears, still showcase remarkable craftsmanship. One eye socket is empty. A gem fills the other. So, I can't fucking imagine what we gotta do there. Trembling, sickly creature emerges from the dark, clutching a spear. Knobby elbows and thin ribs show you through its scaly flesh. You recognize it as a Zorep. It watches you cautiously, breathing in ragged breaths. It's okay, I won't hurt you. Zorep recoils, fingers still wrapped tightly around its spear. Creature cocks its head and approaches you, a soft clicking sound emanating from the back of its throat. Creature sniffs around you and finds nothing of interest. It steps back and resumes its defensive posture. Raise your arms and stand still. Creature cocks its head and approaches you. Okay. Slowly back away? Zorep watches warily as you go. I just want to see what's in here, man. Like... Okay, I guess it's a thing.
Where?
Crossbow, leather armor, the gem from the thing, yeah, okay. A joinal, torch. That gem in the socket. The chamber begins to rumble, stray rocks dancing across the tile floor. Finally, a large section of the wall gives way. Hey! That's what the goop was about. And behind it, more goop!
Where de bil dan saul.
Cloak of protection. It's got gems in it. This is a little treasure hole. Cool. Yeah, you'd think, right? Like, I don't know. Probably it won't let me do that, but we'll take a look. See if we can. No, it won't let me select it at all anymore. You got your cloak of protection. Don't be greedy, fuckers. It's a Skulder whelp.
Where de bil dan.
crack runs along this wall from floor to ceiling. A light gust of air passes through. Use hammer and chisel to weaken the wall. Set to work. The cracks lengthen and widen with your efforts, but the process is more taxing than you'd expected. Sweat beads on your forehead and your muscles begin to ache. Continue chiseling. After several long moments, you begin to see light on the other side. With one final tap, several blocks of stone shift, then tumble loose, clearing a gap just wide enough to pass through.
I could scout ahead, see what's around the corner. I'll be quiet.
Were they...
Oh, that got us through the spider.
Were they built on...
That didn't take long. Yeah, that'll put us on the other side of that trap wall. Okay, so maybe have exploration supplies is what we've been taught here. Oh, watch out, it's spiders again.
Were they be...
A rapier and a bloodstone. Ooh. Bats as large as chickens are strung in the web. Jesus Christ. No part of that is good. No idea. Helema, not that that's gonna work for me. Jasper and agate. So, as you can see, the collecting gemstones and minerals from pots and shit is sort of a staple of the genre. But this loading screen is pure fucking Baldur's Gate. I love it. Just the stone framed CG picture is so good. Four figures stand before an otherworldly apparatus, an ancient structure of chiseled ardra and metallic veins, ominous and looming like a silent observer. Standing motionless in their midst is what appears to be a human body, colorless as stone or ash. Yeah, it did finish real quick, didn't it? The other figures gaze upon it in what might be contemplation. From your vantage point, you are well obscured from their view. The figure closest to the machine stands out among them. A thick grey beard frames a face otherwise hidden behind a metallic mask. His faded robes are embroidered with a runic language unlike anything you have ever seen, and he wears a strange black headdress with two protrusions that jut off like the wings of a malevolent creature.
Oathbinder, bear witness, and see this man has kept his word true to his last breath, full to his blood's last drop. Guide his soul, queen that was, and regard it among your favored. Let his life by the key be his confession. Let his death by the key be his absolution. May he walk the world ever free of the crushing weight of the book. Your brother has done his part, and you have seen the power of his contribution. I will accept no further hesitation from the rest of you. In the sight of the queen that was, will you fulfill the oath? Will you take your place beside your brother in the endless esteem of her memory that is without flaw? Step forth, and be assured of the great worth of your life's course.
For an instant the apparatus goes quiet and the air is still. Then all at once it erupts with a concussive surge. Light floods your vision and you are knocked to the ground. Your head snaps back as you land and pain wells through the back of your skull, washing your last thoughts away into the black unconscious void. You open your eyes in a different place, another time. You stand in a circular room, grand and domed, its walls lined with ardra and trimmed with copper. The style is ancient, but the chamber is unweathered. At the far end, a great pillar of ardra pierces the floor from below, its shimmering texture giving the illusion of boundless depth. Encircling the pillar is an apparatus much like the one you have just seen, but immense and multifaceted and intertwined. Your thoughts are yours and not yours, and they seem to exist before you think them, and they are all questions. Pressing questions, troubling questions, questions that must be answered, or... At the base of the pillar now you see a man with a thick grey beard and ceremonial robe crowned with a strange ornamental headdress. You know this man. You are walking toward him now at a pace that is hurried while trying not to appear so. You have something you want to ask him, one question above all, and the question spins madly in your mind. You awaken to find your malaise is broken, only to be replaced by something far more concerning. Faint whispers are audible at the edge of your hearing, and like a ringing in your ears that does not subside. Movement flits through your periphery, but when you turn to look, you can see no sign of whatever it was. You find your gaze regularly darting this way and that, an involuntary paranoid tick. If this is a sickness, it may be dangerous to go without treatment for long. Figures at the machine stand frozen in place, flesh and blood replaced by cinders and ash. The man who led them is nowhere to be seen. You find hidden a short distance away in a shallow lake of his own blood. His body does not stir. You are alone and far from help. Gilded Veil may be your best hope of receiving treatment before things get worse. Level up! 6 points to put into stuff. So we've got stealth, athletics, lore, which is brain power, mechanics for traps and locks, and survival for camping bonuses, I guess? Yeah. And wilderness challenges in the script. So they all have, like, checks to do. So, yeah. I like lore. Lore's good. Quite there with stealth. Always good to have mechanics, especially since fucking I'm the only character that's gonna be sure to be there all the time. So what do I want from I like... Oh, these are invocations, I can guess. This is my spells. Alright. Yeah, give me the lightning spell to go with that. Talents. This is basically like a spell from a different class, I guess. And then weapon focus too. So you get... Yeah, alright, I see. Some kind of thing. Excuse me, one of the weapon classes here is pistol. We're gonna be a gun mage? That sounds fun. I just like that it's there. Fucking Arquebus? Jesus Christ. Battle-focused noble. Dagger, rapier, mace, scepter, and rod. Rapier is pretty cool. No, we'll do knight, battle axe, sword, morning star, crossbow. That's not, yeah, because we like swords. Also, it's level fucking 2, so it's fine. Holy shit, is that the time? It's almost 3 o'clock, what the fuck? Shall we continue this later, dear? No, I had fun. You know I have fun with you. But yeah, I should probably stop and get lunch and shit, so...